Hey guys, welcome to the GI Justin channel. I've got a great thing for you today. We're gonna do a little tutorial. We'll take a look at something you guys have been asking me a lot about, because you know that when it comes to what we're trying to do in terms of being prepared, I pretty much every day rely on realistic and sensible options for you when it comes to ways that we can be better prepared. So the thing I want to talk to you about today, like I said, is something that you guys have asked me about a whole bunch lately, and it's something we've touched on a couple times that I kind of want to bring back into your attention and show you, and that is, what do I take with me every single day when I go rolling out in town? The EDC, as they all say. So I've literally come home and taken my pockets and thrown them out so that you can see exactly what it is that I carry in them. So we'll start off with the easiest things first. You know, something that people need all the time, but you fail to bring with you in a lot of places, and you're always like, oh man, one of these, a pen. One of the things that I use is a SKILCRAFT. This pen's super cool because it has a red, a pencil, and a black ink pen in it. So the first thing is always a pen. You know, there's always somebody asking for one, or you got to pay your bill at dinner, and magically you didn't get the pen. So I always carry a pen with me for sure. And let me throw a disclaimer on right here as we're about to talk about all this stuff too. One of the things that I highly recommend is don't have an everyday carry, have a plan for your everyday carry where tailor what you're going to need to your environment. So this is kind of what I had with me today based on the environments I was going to find myself in. And I really think if you plan to do everyday carry in terms of just what you have on you, not what you're going to have in your backpack, one of the greatest things you can do is give it a little thought ahead of time and say, okay, is my family coming with me? Am I going to a place where there's tons of people? Am I going to an area where the threat could possibly be a little more robust? Apply that to everything that you do as you are choosing what it is that you're just going to have on your person. So to say these, I've got some stuff to do this afternoon into this evening. So I'm going to be having the STREAMLIGHT wedge flashlight with me. Super cool little flashlight. We've talked about it a couple times before. It's got two settings on it, really easy to operate, really easy to use. It's got a little low setting and an intensified setting. It charges with one of the micro C USBs, so a really great option in terms of just having, you know, a streamlined flashlight in your pocket that could come in handy. Not necessarily, you know, to use with a weapons platform, but in the event you just need a flashlight. I mean, you know, how many times you ever been out in your life and you get a flat tire, and it sure would be nice to have a flashlight to help you deal with that. Just to kind of put it out on the road, even and say, hey, I got trouble up here. Please don't run me over. You know? So next thing, you know, there's several different variations on how you can do this. I like to stay a little bit on the cheaper route. Just a basic KERSHAW folding knife. Nothing too fancy, but you never know when you might need to open something, you know, or when you need to, you know, just cut something for one of your kids. You know, a really great, it's like a $25 knife, just a little KERSHAW folder that you can find, you know, pretty much anywhere. And also real streamlined, fits in your pocket, because that's the other thing I don't want to do here is be so bulky that we look like a World War II paratrooper going into combat with just bulging pockets and completely unable to even move. So the next one is something that I carry with me pretty much everywhere I go, so long as there is not something prohibiting me to do that. And any variation of this, I think, is good, so long as you, A, know how to use it, which is another point to delve into, that if you're going to carry different things with you, get out and train with them. Run these things. You know, we've talked about this before, that what good does it do you to have, you know, a gun safe full of guns that you don't know how to actually operate? So that's kind of one of those things. I think that in all the facets of what we're going to move into next in terms of protection are really great ways. You know, buy some range ammo, you know, buy some really cheap and easy ammo and targets, and get out and shoot. You know, move around and go back, and I'm going to link the video where we talk about body armor. You know, if you've got body armor, put that stuff on and move around, walk around, find out where it chafes and where it rides up high on you, and get that figured out, because last thing you want to do is find out that it tears into your neck while you're wearing it because you're in a serious situation. So next thing that I take with me, like I said, absolutely everywhere, would be my kind of my last ditch or my very, very, very close quarters option. And I've showed this thing in the video before. It's kind of my favorite little cool guy tool that I own, BENCHMADE Infidel. Lovely little knife, very good, very sharp fighting knife. And thing that's so nice about it is it has so many different uses that you can put it through in terms of how to defend yourself and protect yourself where you're going either with, the underhand or the overhand techniques. It's really great in either option. Another thing that's awesome about these is they are a little pricey, but you register it with BenchMade, and when it needs sharpened or maintained, you just throw it in the mail and BenchMade will take care of it, send it on right back to you. So that's also a really nice thing. If you want a super fancy knife, and it doesn't have to be quite so fancy. I mean, you can, get yourself any of the other BenchMade quality knives, especially in some of the Tonto styles, are all really, really nice, useful knives where if you're in a hand-to-hand situation, having one of those dudes in your hand would not be the worst thing on the planet. You could do some serious work with that thing. So, all right, the second to last thing we're going to show you, because like I said, I don't like carrying around a ton of stuff. I'm just trying to be prepared for some of the possibilities that I may encounter in the day-to-day, and the possibilities of, hey, you need to affect the situation and protect yourself and your family. So the next one, and these two are interchangeable. I just kind of grabbed both so that you can see how I kind of tailor mine a little bit differently. So the very next one is the Glock 43. Glock 43 is a really, really handy pistol because A, it's a Glock product, so 100 times out of 100 that thing's going to go bang. It's just going to do that. It's really, really, really slimline, so it sits well on your belt line. Jets flying over. Welcome to Florida. Sound of freedom, you're welcome. Other thing that I'll do in concert with that is have a second magazine handy and utilize the Vickers Tactical Extended magazines. And the biggest reason for that is, as a big-handed guy, I want to know my equipment better, and by using this extended magazine, the base plate is a little larger, so it gives me more to grip onto with my hands. And in this same train of thought, if you're considering carrying a small pistol like this, also consider that your purpose with this pistol, this application, is not to get into some run and gun battle like you see in the movies. A, legality becomes a big issue, but B, if you're only going to carry 2 magazines of 16 rounds, you don't know what your opponent is bringing to the fight, but odds are probably has more ammo than that. So the best option in that situation, and of course, no legal advice whatsoever given here, but my personal opinion is utilize that system to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. That more importantly than anything is, in my opinion, the way to go. So the final thing that I want to talk with you guys about and show you is the thing that I take when I would like to have a slightly higher protective posture. Actually, you know what? Let's add one more thing to that. I'm going to talk about one more thing after we talk about this. So the last thing, well, let's talk about it first. So the other thing, and it's something that I have talked about previously, and we've kind of touched on, is a watch that actually winds, and I'm going to show you mine. It is my dad's Rolex DeepSea. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Having a watch that winds is always a really nice option. Big part of that is based on some of the things we've talked about with electromagnetic pulse and prepping for life situations. Your watch battery is going to run out, so you're going to want to have something that is windable. Because, I mean, hey, if you're like, hey, I'm in a life and death situation, I don't care about time, right on, do your thing. In my opinion, if I hear on the radio, hey, this is such and such, U.S. Air Force combat search and rescue helicopter, we are going to be at X, Y, and Z place at X, Y, and Z a time, I don't want to be looking up at the sun trying to estimate if I think it's that time. So a little bit of a tangent, but at the same time, like, that's kind of where it rolls back to. So that's the thing there. Get a watch that winds, and get one that you're comfortable wearing, that you're cool with wearing every day. Everybody loves smartwatches. Great. That's wonderful. Maybe pull back from that a little bit and realize your cell phone's good enough and that your steps are what they are. It's fine. And you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have a watch that's going to sustain you when you may need it in a situation. So definitely, I really recommend that. Not necessarily that particular watch, because it's not a $0 item, but definitely a winding watch or a self-winding watch. Either one is okay. So back to the matter at hand here. The very last thing I want to talk with you guys about is what I use when I'm either going out in a nighttime situation or a situation where maybe I want to carry something that is a little bit more robust but still streamlined. And the choice that I have is the SIG P320 right here, as you can see with the Enforce light on it. And the thing that's nice about the Enforce is it's very streamlined, and it has a lot of options for brightness where you can tap it or you can hold it down and it'll do different things for you. P320 is a very nice choice, in my opinion, for several reasons other than just the fact it's a striker-fired pistol made by, in my opinion, one of the greatest pistol manufacturers on the planet. Thing number two that I think is what makes it so much more beneficial is you can purchase the SIG extended magazine, which is a 21 round extended magazine. You take two of these and I mean, you're at 42 rounds of ammunition just in two magazines. You know, it would take carrying a whole bandolier of the old Glock 43 mags to make that happen. So that's a great one where you're not gonna have to reload a ton. 21 rounds goes fast, but at least it gives you time to get yourself and whoever may be with you out of the situation you find yourself in. So that's a really good option. The 320 is a very even and cleanly firing pistol. I've not had any reliability issues with it whatsoever, just like the Glock 43. So any variety of pistol works. I just kind of wanted to show you my thoughts on if we're going to step up our intent a little bit to the next level and say, okay, I would like something a little more robust than just a personal defense pistol. So, you know, you can go any variety on the planet that you may go with. You know, you can go with, you know, one of the Glock series, the 1919X. You can go really anything you want to go with, but just something that is a little bit larger and a little bit more stout in terms of its ability to protect you as you operate it. So this is pretty much it, y'all. This is what I take with me on the day-to-day. You know, one of these two pistols along with, you know, the couple of knives, the light and the pen. That's it. I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it, other than this little guy, as inexpensive as I possibly can, because I want to show you guys that you don't have to have $700,000 worth of kit every single time you go out. You know, I mean, everything I have on this table probably has maybe $1,000 in it purchased over a period of time. So a great way, and I encourage you, if you're not considering this everyday carry thing, take a look at some of the other videos that we have back in the earlier portions of the channel, and I'll tag the playlist as well, and start looking at how it is that you can help yourself out of what could possibly be a very difficult situation. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys hanging in with me for the 12 and a half minutes that we've been rolling now. So make sure that you comment on the video if you have questions, if you want to discuss your everyday carry. You don't have to get into like firearm specifics, because I get it. But, you know, we can talk about your flashlight choices. We can talk about where you live and what I think may be some good options for you in terms of what you can carry, you know, because not every state is like the free state of Florida where, you know, a lot is okay. So we can talk about that kind of stuff. It's really whatever you guys want to talk about. I totally dig that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, there's gonna be a little circle down here at the bottom. It's a really cool looking helicopter, the guy flying it, real nice. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.